Today we will learn how to say of in Korean. Actually, it's very easy. You put 의 after the noun. And 의 corresponds to of or apostrophe s in English. It expresses the possessive relationship where the first noun is the possessor of the second noun. That's it, and there's nothing difficult. So I'll give you some tips. The possessive particle 의 is normally read as 에 because 의 is kind of difficult to pronounce. Also, the possessive particle 의 is often omitted in colloquial speech. Now, let's see some examples. 친구의 이름, friend's name. You can see 의 is after the noun. 친구. It's simple. 의는 한국어의 조사예요. 의 is a particle in Korean. You can see 의 is after the noun 한국어. 여자친구의 이름이 뭐예요? What's your girlfriend's name? You can see 의 is after the noun 여자친구. 여자친구 이름이 뭐예요? What's your girlfriend's name? Unlike the last example, 의 is not used here because Koreans often omit 의 in colloquial speech. But then there are some special cases. To say my, you don't say 나의, you say 내. It's the same with 저희. You say 제. For your, you don't say 너의, you say 내. But for 내, which means your, it's often pronounced as 니. I'm not sure, but I think it's because it's hard to differentiate my and your in pronunciation since both sound like 내. So, my is 내 and your is 니. But you have to know that saying 니 is quite informal. You would use this with your friends. 펠릭스는 내 최애야. Felix is my bias. As you can see here, you don't say 나의. It's 내 here. Of course, it's not grammatically wrong to say 나의, but 나의 sounds too formal. 그 사람은 제 여자친구예요. That person is my girlfriend. Instead of 저의, 제 is used here. 네 돈으로 사. Buy it with your money. Instead of 너의, 내 is used here. For 내 here, I would pronounce it as 니, even if it's written 내. Lastly, there is another special rule. When referring to one's own home, family, company, country, or school, Koreans often use 우리 and 저희 instead of 나. When referring to family members, 우리 is used more often than 내 or 제. However, in the case of younger siblings, 내 동생 or 제 동생 is used more often than 우리 동생. 우리 아버지, my father. You can see 우리 is used instead of 제 because I'm talking about my family. 저희 아버지, my father. You can see 저희 is used instead of 제 because I'm talking about my family. Also, 저희 is more formal way of speaking than 우리. 우리 회사는 안 좋아요. Our company is not good. You can see 우리 is used instead of 제 because I'm talking about my company. Of course, depending on the situation, it can literally mean our company as well. 제 동생은 집에 가고 싶어요. My younger sibling wants to go home. You can see 제 is used instead of 우리, even though I'm talking about my family, because it's my younger sibling. Now, let's move on to some practice questions. N-hypen's fan signing event. N-hypen의 팬사. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. 해리포터와 아즈카반의 죄수. The President of the United States is Trump. 미국의 대통령은 트럼프예요. There were many students of this school. 이 학교에 학생들은 많았어요. Friends are going to the party. 친구의 친구들은 파티에 가요. That is my album. 저건 제 앨범이에요. My family members are very tall. 우리 가족은 키가 아주 커요. My house is a bit far from Busan. 우리 집은 부산에서 조금 멀어요. My younger sibling will turn 13 soon. 제 동생은 곧 13살이 돼요. The bread in our country is expensive. 우리나라의 빵은 비싸요. Today we learned how to say of in Korean. That's it for today's lesson, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching.